Avatar: The Seven Havens is set in a post-apocalyptic hellscape with only 7 safe locations left remaining in the world after Avatar Korra destroyed civilization. The world is in complete chaos, only a few benders survive, and almost every single survivor blames Korra for the disastrous state of the world. This is what we know about the new Avatar series so far, but what we don't know is how Korra destroyed the world. But today, that changes. Today we're going to dive deep into an extremely compelling theory about how Korra may have caused the horrible mess that the world is in. So hit that subscribe button and let's get right into the evidence. As we already know, Seven Havens does not happen in a cozy era of embassies and pro-bending arenas. It's a post-cataclysm world where civilization survives inside of fortified city-states called havens. Outside of those walls, the land is hostile. Energy storms rake the deserts, auroras knot the sky, and spirit vines crawl through the bones of collapsed cities. The old map is gone. The phrase "Four Nations" is just a memory. The story follows an Earth avatar named Pavi and her long-lost twin sister, Nisha, raised apart, reunited under threat, and hunted in a world that calls the Avatar a destroyer rather than a savior, the bringer of chaos rather than balance. The public doesn't just doubt the Avatar, it blames the Avatar for the fall. Now we turn to Sozin's comet, because this is where the fuse is lit. This gives us the biggest hint at what actually might have happened to the world and how Korra may have caused it or at least been blamed for it. In the original Avatar series, the comet returns roughly every 100 years and skims the upper atmosphere. When it does, firebending surges to absurd levels. We watched Ozai almost pretty much put an end to Ba Sing Se and the Earth Kingdom using that power until Aang was able to stop him. The sky turns red, the heat and charged particles supercharge every firebender alive until the comet leaves the air and returns to space. But the Fire Nation's royal portraits hide a stronger hint at what actually might be happening with this comet. Above Fire Lord Sozin, the comet is painted high, like a signature. Above Fire Lord Ozai, the only other time that the comet shows up in these paintings, the arc sits much lower, much tighter, as if the painter is recording a closer pass of the comet towards the Earth. Every time the comet comes around, it gets closer and closer to the Earth. The composition of these two pieces implies a trend that court historians might have known. Court astronomers may have picked up on this pattern. The comet's path is getting closer and closer each time, and closer means stronger. Stronger means more dangerous. Now, what if the next time the comet passed, during Korra's era, the comet actually collided with the Earth? The devastation that would cause is absolutely tremendous and is probably what actually left the Seven Havens to be the only remaining places on the Earth where civilization could continue. Now, on top of that, there's another point which makes things even worse. During Korra's time, the spirit and physical realms stopped being sealed off. She keeps the spirit portals open. Cities learn to live with the spirits in their streets. Vines punch back through brick and begin to function like an organic network. Think of those portals as sockets and those vines as wiring. Korra did not just invite the spirits in, she connected the biosphere to a grid that did not exist before. That choice created a world that conducts power between the realms. Put the two pieces together, a periodic sky event that only supercharged firebenders and absolutely devastated the world, you get a cause and effect chain which leads the people of the world who survived to blame Korra for destroying the world. Imagine the impact. Not a dinosaur killer that would vaporize entire continents. The Avatar world is still there, but a body large enough and fast enough to punch into the atmosphere and impact, or even if it doesn't actually impact so it can keep coming back in future series, maybe it was able to fragment and rain plasma and debris across the oceans and deserts. That would certainly be enough to break the climate, kill the supply chains of trade, and tilt the tectonic plates into years of aftershock. Now add the grid. The moment a charged, superheated fragment field couples into a world laced with spirit wiring, spirit vines everywhere, you get a second disaster. Energy finds the paths that you laid. It races along the vines, it floods through the portals, it turns whole regions into interference zones where weather, magnetism, and spirit presence all jam into each other, causing these spirit storms that we know are coming. This is why anywhere outside of the Seven Havens become unlivable. Storm belts appear in places that never had them, auroras ride the equator, whole forests become spirit conductors that catch and hold wandering entities like nets. You don't need total annihilation, you need a planet that never returns to its baseline. In that world, the last sane strategy is to retreat behind walls, build redundancies, and call those strongholds havens. This is why the hate sticks to Korra. The fall arrives right after the most controversial decision of her career. She chose to keep the portals open. The vines kept spreading, the world modernized anyway, then the comet came back and this time it struck. Survivors don't separate metaphysics and meteorology. They remember the chain in the simplest form. She opened the door, then the sky fell in. The Avatar title becomes a curse, and future avatars inherit a world that greets them with fear. Now let's map a timeline that fits with all the leaks we know about the series and the canon dates. The comet passed in 100 AG, which is after the Air Nomad slaughter, when Aang beat Ozai. The legend of Korra begins about 70 years later. The cycle is every 100 years for the comet to come around. That means the next return lands within roughly 30 years of Korra's early career, which is well within her adult life. That's not even contested. The next pass of the comet does come when Korra is alive. She makes the portal decision in about her 20s. The world adjusts. The White Lotus monitors anomalies near the poles and near the portal sites. Unusual lights show up at mid-latitudes. Aviators report turbulence that looks like storms, but scans like interference. Spirit migrations spike without clear cause, then the sky brightens. The fragment cloud arrives. The impact comes. The map changes in a month and the climate changes for a generation. There's another elegant piece that lines up with the twin avatars. In a world stuck in resonance, one avatar body may not stabilize the load anymore. The spirit of the avatar, which has always balanced the four elements and the two realms, might require redundancy. Enter Pavi and Nisha, two vessels, two perspectives, one light shared across twins. Leaks describe both believing that they are the avatar, both displaying the avatar state, and both being pursued by factions that want either control or execution. Also, one is light and one is dark, two possible solutions to one problem. In a technical sense, it's not really a gimmick, it's a safety feature. If the world became a high energy circuit filled with spirit energy and absolutely havoc from spirits everywhere, the avatar spirit may have learned to distribute risk across two conductors. Rava may have been forced to split, especially after the damage she suffered in the fight against Vaatu. Now, what would an impact do in a world like this from a mechanical perspective? First is thermal shock. Ocean surface layers would flash to steam near strike zones, injecting moisture and aerosols high into the atmosphere. Second, electrical coupling. The fragment cloud drags a magnetized plasma tail in a normal world that produces pretty light tails and radio noise. In a world wired with spirit magic and vines everywhere, this produces energy storms that cascade along vine networks like overloaded power lines. Third, spiritual cascade. Spirits interpret charged, wounded places as signals that they are being attacked. Just like the panda spirit in the forest that Aang encountered. They converge, agitate, and imprint environments with emotion. This is how you get wastelands that look like deserts and feel like haunted oceans. The havens are not just fortresses. They are filters built to keep out weather, plasma, and grief. And of course, spirit attacks. From there, the politics harden. The havens need scapegoats to maintain unity. The old four-nation identities are useless when safety is all that identifies with loyalty. A simple slogan takes hold. The avatar broke the world. The comet only finished the job. That message makes sense to a frightened public because it gives them agency. You can ban an avatar, you can imprison her, you can kill her, but you cannot ban the sky. Posters will go up, parades mock the past. The twins grow up inside that moral weather. Each girl learns to carry the name Avatar like a crime she did not commit, and like a sentence she intends to overturn. Now, the one obvious objection to this theory is, wouldn't an impact just erase the whole world and kill everyone? Well, no, the answer lies in scale. The comet is not a planet killer like the one that hit the dinosaurs. In the original show, it's close enough to supercharged bending, which means energetic but not continent-sized. In Impactor, in the several hundred meter to low 1 kilometer range, arriving in fragments could produce regional devastation, tsunamis, climate anomalies, and of course spirit storms, but definitely not enough to destroy the whole world. The size we see in the original show matches one that would collapse a world into 7 hardened refuges rather than a rock which would destroy everything. Now let's consider Korra herself. Did she know this was coming? She knew the cycle. Everyone did. 100 years. But a pass is a pass until it's not. Astronomers may have suspected a closer approach just as royal portraits quietly suggest a trend. Translating suspicion into policy is hard. Close the portals and you reignite a cultural war after years of healing. Keep them open and you gamble that the world will adapt faster than the sky can test it. She chose connection, and history paid cash for that bet. The last link is the way art, rumor, and science blur in crisis. When people see a comet fall and spirits scream through the air like storm fronts, they don't separate celestial mechanics from moral choices. They remember that the avatar opened the door and decide that the door caused the fall. In one sense, they are wrong. In another sense, they are telling a system's truth. Decisions change the shape of the world. When the same old pressures hit a new shape, the outcomes change too. So did Korra actually destroy the world objectively? I mean, we know the people think she did, but if destroy means throw the rock, then no, she didn't. If destroy means unbolt the structure that allowed an inevitable rock to do something the old world could never have done, then yes, she did it by telling the truth at the wrong cosmic moment. She believed spirits and humans must live together. She believed that connection would make everyone stronger. In the long run, she might still be right. The twins will inherit that bet and either prove it or bury it. If they stabilize the grid, they will tune the havens into instruments instead of bunkers. Then the destroyer becomes the ancestor of survival. So that is my theory about how Korra destroyed the world by accidentally causing and unleashing havoc by keeping the spirit portals open when Sozin's comet came just a little bit too close to the world and caused absolute destruction. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this theory and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you made it this far, drop a thank you Mr. Zuko in the comments down below.